Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very first edition of the ICONNECTED Online 21. My name is Riba, and I'm the marketing manager of SMAG Graphique, and I will be your host during this webinar session. So first of all, I will present all our speakers. So we have my colleague Dario De Mayo from SMAG Graphique. Hello, Dario.
Good morning, Iba. Good morning, everybody.
We have Frank Smits from Avery Dennison. Hello, Frank.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Pleasure to be speaking today.
Teemu Anasoya from Voyantic. Hi, Teemu.
Hi, hello, everybody.
And we have Benoit Strutre from WID Group. Hi, Benoit.
Hi, Ibat. Hello, everyone.
So thank you guys for being with us today. So right before we start the presentations, I will be presenting the agenda of the day. So give me just a moment, please. All right, now we're good. So first of all, we will start with a general presentation of the SMAG Graphique icon line. Then we will move to a presentation from Avery Dennison, which is called Unlocking New Market Opportunities for Label Converters. After that, it will be the first live demonstration of the ICONNECT C. Then Voyantic will present RAIN, RFID and NFC quality testing and encoding. After that, we will have the second live demonstration of the day, which is the live demo of our machine ICONNECT E. And then we will have the testimony of our client WID Group, who uses RFID and NFC in the wine sector. Then, of course, we will answer all your questions during the live Q&A session. So should you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us that in the live chat. And if you have problems using the live chats, you can use a phone number that I put on the screen. So first, we will start with the presentation of our icon line. So Dario, it's all yours.
Thank you, Ibat, and I wish to welcome everybody who's attending our very first session of the ICONNECTED Online webinar. Thank you, everybody. You are a lot of person that positively answered to our proposal. So let's start first to present our company, who we are, SMAG Graphique. We are a French family-owned company founded 40 years ago in 1980 and still located from the beginning in the south of Paris. And now we have nearly 5,000 square meters of integrated state-of-the-art production facilities and 70 employees. The production facilities, we manage metal transformation from the very raw material through the complete manufacturing process of all the SMAG machines, which include either the electrical and the software integration, the mechanical, drilling, welding, painting, the service and the spare parts. Everything is based on our internal R&D and technical departments. We fortunately rely on a very efficient worldwide sale and service distributors network, and we can successfully say that we have over 1,000 installations worldwide. And SMAG Graphique has always been a people-focused company. We emphasize a very strong relation with our customer when we provide the unique and customized and moreover innovative solution for every kind of need. Our mission is to create innovative and modular multi-process solution for the high added value self-adhesive label, but not only, also now, and the topic of today, for RFID or NFC, and most recently, printed electronics industries. Main markets, as usual, are luxury, cosmetics, pharma, industrial labels, chemicals labels, food and beverage, and also flexible packaging. And again, the topic of the day, connected labels. We inspired and developed the product identification of tomorrow. And it's based on our expertise to offer, when we speak about modularity, is not only to be capable to transform the machine, but how deep you can transform a machine. And in that sense, we offer the widest range of solution for the differentiation and finishing elements, such as silkscreen, hot stamping, embossing, flexography, inkjet for variable data printing or other, die cutting, either can be flatbed, rotary, semi-rotary, or laser, and of course, RFID, NFC from the insertion to the control to the encoding of such. And moreover, special projects and customized solution. So again, our printing solution is one of the widest of the market. We can offer, according to inks or material or application processes, flatbed silkscreen, rotary and semi-rotary flexo modules, inkjet printing modules, outfoil for hologram or aesthetical effect, and embossing module, all in line on the ICON platform. These printing solutions are supported by dedicated curing and drying elements, UV or LED cassette, which are interchangeable, or in addition with hot air and infrared dryers. To handle the temperature control, chilling plates and air extraction are complementary to those solutions. We have also very specific and particular solution, and I'm thinking about printed electronics with the, but not only, near infrared dryers, or even photonic UV dryer for the most special application. And also exclusive solution with a hot air drying hood, which is 9 meters long, to perform drying capabilities up to 160 Celsius with 4 independent controlled zones. And besides printing and drying, we have converting and finishing solution to reduce the offline processes. Lamination, label, tags, insertion, encoding and controlling. Again, variable data printing to be in line instead of offline. Inspection solutions. And of course, die cutting from the flatbed to the rotary and semi-rotary, but also laser die cutting integration if needed. So ICON line is the combination of all the process, starting from the iConcept, the most complete solution with all the processes to create, to inspect, to finish, to convert, and to identify the labels. But we have solution for the very specific converting and finishing market with the iConvert, still based on the ICON platform, with the very focused, dedicated module for converting and finishing, and the support of the light, compact version iConvert Lite. The same for the inspection systems, so post-printing inspection systems with the iControl, still based on the ICON platform, taking the very same elements from unwinding to rewinding, and the compact version iControl Lite. 4, as I noticed, the printed electronics market, that include also medical, and more generally speaking, conductive inks printing. We use iContact, which is based on the classic Galaxy line that you know very well for most of you, with a stop and go web transportation, which allows to not to touch the printing surface at any time of the process, avoiding scratches risk or contamination. And with this particular iContact, you can combine the 9-meter drying tunnels to perform the highest drying performance on special inks. But let's back to the connected labels. So with the iConnect for label identification, we offer today 2 offline solutions: the ICONNECT C for the converting, namely the insertion, and the ICONNECT E for the encoding, so the data process. ICONNECT C is composed of label unwinder, RFID insertion, assembly section, and the rewinder. Simple solution to produce RFID tag labels. But it can also be implemented with RFID quality control section with a bad tag marking solution to produce RFID tag labels 100% encodable. ICONNECT E, beside, offer solution for data processes. So label unwinder, possibility to inspect the label, variable data printing, barcode scanner to read printed information on the label, HF, UHF, so RFID, NFC quality control, and the same for the encoding and data controlling to produce at this stage RFID tag labels 100% encodable and serialized. iConnect is also the iConnect Max high productivity label identification solution. As you can see, the iConnect solution is integrated in the Icon platform, taking the main unwinder for reel up to 800 millimeters, a flexo rotary or semi-rotary to print additional information, event inserter, DLAM-RELAM assembly section, lamination, die cutting, semi-rotary, HF or UHF control, slitting and rewinding section with different possibilities. So ICONNECT is a circular solution from the iConcept for the high added value label finishing process solution through the converting and finishing line, inspection system, even conductive ink printings, and label identification. So do not hesitate to contact our sales department, myself, and Mr. Rateau, our general manager. And that's for my first presentation. And I would like to thank you, everybody. And I give the line back to Iba and to Frank.
Thank you very much, Dario, for presenting our icon line.
Thank you, Iba.
So now we're ready for Frank's presentation, and he'll be presenting how to unlock new market opportunities for label converters. We're ready, Frank.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, first of all, thanks for this great opportunity to speak about all the new market opportunities we see in RFID for label converters like yourself. As announced, my name is Frank Smits. I've been in the wonderful world of RFID for more than 25 years now. I've been at Avery Dennison for almost 3 years now in the role of Business Development Manager, Intelligent Labels for EMEA.
Thank you for being with us, Frank.
So let's take you into a journey how we see at Avery Dennison the new emerging markets. First of all, we have a vision that every physical item will have a unique digital identity, will have a digital life. And we are very committed to help create a bridge between the digital and the physical world. And we are committed to driving adoption of digital ID technologies across all the different markets we see currently. We're committed to working with the brands, with end customers, but mainly to generate business for converters like yourself. We also work with system integrators and other partners in the ecosystem. So be well aware, if you work with Avery Dennison, you will be part of a global ecosystem. Our inlays and our tags are part of digital ID technologies, really helping to authenticate products history, providing tracking and tracing, supporting inventory solution, enabling much richer customer interaction than you ever had in the past. And that is really what gets us out of bed every single morning. We want to find ways of using digital identity technologies to shine a light on value chains that have never been in the dark like this before. So where do we find ourselves at the moment? We were there in the beginning as Avery Dennison of automatic identification with barcode technology, and we have always supplied right materials to print on, right adhesive to be compliant with all the regulations in place. And now we find ourselves in the phase of RFID, UHF, NFC usage, but be aware that we will continue to invest in new technologies. And then you can think about printed electronics directly on packaging, or passive Bluetooth technology like WID, where identification and sensor data like temperature can be communicated even without a battery. So Avery Dennison is ready for the next steps in intelligent packaging and labeling, and we will continue to invest. So we see changing needs for these digital ID technologies I touched base upon. We see RFID impacting multiple industries, from the established markets such as fashion apparel and retail to other more emerging industries, including automotive, food, pharmaceuticals, logistics. So many new segments, opportunities for label converters, enabling really your customers to enter the wonderful world of IoT. And RFID, we see a profoundly transforming industry that we serve, opening a whole new area of emerging segment opportunities. And what is also good to know that we have a vertical segment approach. So we offer specialized solutions, specialized knowledge, specialized support, and also solutions that are designed for maximum performance in the key market applications we see. So what are some of the industry disruption we see at the moment? We all see the omni-channel rising. It's been growing dramatically now in the current COVID-19 situation. And that really means that companies have to be set up and able to execute on new delivery models. There's a strong need for real-time inventory accuracy to beat competition. You have to be able to better track processes and workflows, and that will actually allow a very positive effect also on employee safety, for example. And another trend we really see that the big brands really want to connect the last mile. So they want to be in touch with the consumers directly. Think of connected products that allow loyalty programs, self-service reordering. And we also see RFID being a great technology to easily enable automation of existing processes and workflows. And as we're all making our way through the current pandemic, we all see how fragile supply chains can be. Yeah, whether it's stocked out toilet paper, which we saw in the beginning, or any other distributed items we now see with the vaccines, we see RFID being a way to help provide better visibility throughout the supply chain and really improve efficiency of how goods are distributed. And we also see emerging technologies such as blockchain make it very easy to track these products throughout the whole supply chain. So it is clear that COVID-19 has accelerated the need for touchless technology. And we see that some elements of the blueprint are particularly meaningful now, but it's starting with the tech-enabled traceability. It will be the start of a new era, of a new period. So what are some key markets and trends we currently see? What should we be looking at as a converter when taking RFID into consideration as part of your offering? Well, one key strategic vertical is pharmaceutical and the healthcare industry. Yeah, we see an increase of using RFID for inventory management, enabling patient safety, but also connection to the patient. A lot of brands are concerned about their brand. They want to protect their brand. Yeah, you see already fake vaccines coming into the market, but also patients want to be assured that they're using authentic products. Also, pharmacies need to be able to authenticate that the product purchased are really origin and that you can verify the origin and even up to the ingredients. And also, you can improve labor operation efficiency using these RFID technologies. Another strategic vertical is automotive, where we see RFID being used in the production, so tracking of parts, traceability, automating processes, but also improving customer safety. When you have many items tagged already, many parts tagged, it's very much more easy to do recalls. And also you can ensure spare parts and original parts are authenticated, that authentic parts are used in the after sales. And with that, you can also prevent counterfeits. And by doing so, again, protecting this brand. Also, we see a huge increase in efficiency on labor and operations when using RFID in the automotive space. So another vertical is food. And we already touched base on that. Dario also mentioned it already. Many grocery chains around the world are investigating to implement RFID as part of the solution spectrum. It's really also about food safety. Yeah, ensuring that what you buy, what is stated on the label, also origin of the product, making sure that is correct. Yeah, making sure that you can trace the product from its origin throughout the distribution center, supermarkets, down to you as a consumer. And food manufacturers can use RFID to create consumer experience. And what I just spoke about, providing recipes, coupons, complementary product suggestions, etc. And grocery chains also are using RFID to improve labor efficiency in the shops, as you can see in the video, but also in warehouses and the distribution centers. And another important uh, additional benefit of RFID is that it can reduce production waste throughout the whole value chain. And by doing so, actually lifting the sustainability of the whole process of the brand and improving the carbon footprint. Let's have a look at, last but not least, logistics and transportation. So there we really see that from shipment verification through cross-dock operations into the inventory management, RFID can help to improve and really optimize those processes. And as we already see already today, RFID is a key technology in use in industries for omni-channel inventory accuracy. And in warehouse management, from pallet to item level, RFID can really help you to track each item, store information throughout the whole process of product lifecycle, and using really accurate location visibility. It also improves distribution efficiency in the inbound space, in pick and pack areas, for example. And then also ultimately in the outbound space, shipment verification, and ultimately in the end, enabling easy return management. So using RFID helps really to automate the supply chain, increase labor efficiency, and by doing so, closing the IoT gap. Well, as mentioned, it all starts at the suppliers, identifying raw materials, can be parts in automotive, semi-finished goods used, and the receipt of the goods can then be easily automated with the use of RFID already at dock door level, but also in the warehousing and inventory management. We see all these benefits of RFID coming back. So then further down the line, tracking work in progress and knowing where your assets are and inventory is located during manufacturing is key in the next chain of the supply chain. And almost the same process as with the shipping from supplier to the incoming can also be used at outgoing using readers at dock doors to capture all the benefits from automated reading, of RFID compared to barcode systems. And for customers, so really the end users, using RFID means really knowing where the products come from. They are reassured that the sources are safe. Well, after the acquisition of SmartTrack, we have an extensive portfolio covering a wide range of inlay designs for operations in UHF, HF, and NFC frequency bands. And they all can be commonly found in medical, retail, transport, logistics, and manufacturing industries. So all these flexible inlays can include different chips that can vary in memory size, compatibility, data retention, and functionality. They are all available in dry inlays, wet formats, and our inlays are recommended and used for countless applications which require the outstanding performance requirements you need. And our RFID inlays and sensor tags really help you to make those applications come to life and help you change your customer business. Really increase your reach to new areas, to new verticals and segments to venture in, to make money in. We have a great new product finder where the joint portfolio from SmartTrack and Avery Dennison is available, where you can find and select exactly the right solution for your vertical, for your existing label. So let's have a look at some RFID application cases. Where is it already used, RFID? Well, I already spoke about automotive. Yeah, we see big brands like Volkswagen, BMW, Daimler really requesting part suppliers to do so RFID enabled. Yeah? Because they have so much benefits for part management, process automation, and aftermarket, like I just mentioned. Another application is sensor tags for leakage detection, where you can automate detecting leakage immediately during production process. Insert an RFID tag, and in the end, after the leakage testing, you can immediately detect if a car is not okay. So fewer faulty cars leave the factory, fewer cars need to be reproduced in production, and this all leads to greater customer satisfaction. So car manufacturers ship less defective cars to dealerships, preventing those recalls they don't want to have. Another one is healthcare. Actually, we partnered up with a IoT startup, Suku. It's a US-based company, and they actually applied NFC to covered test kits. So it's a very recent use case. And actually, using this RFID NFC tag, it reassures the patient at home that is using an authentic test kit. And using these NFC tags enabled by blockchain, it also allows, on the other hand, organizations to source secure, immutable, confidential, and real-time data from test results. So, as mentioned, this is a solution that we did together with a partner, with Suku, and it's really also there to inform patients. We already spoke about logistics and transportations, where we actually see the most common applications, and we see this coming back in different verticals. One key application is returnable transport items. By adding RFID to returnable transport items, typical loss of 10 to 15% can be really prevented. You see a lot of these RTIs, as we call them, being washed. So if you add RFID, you can really make this whole process of washing way more efficient. So you get rid of all these recurring manual cycle counts, excessive numbers of spare RTIs can be really reduced to a minimum. So looking at a use case we recently did in the UK, it's a company called Reynolds. They supply food products all over the UK, and they had a huge challenge that they were distributing all their products in over 60,000 disposable cardboard cartons each week to the customers, and that was around 4,000 different sites. And the big retailers were really requesting deliveries in plastic returnable crates to lower the environmental impact and reduce cost. So what happened after they switched to the plastic crates, in the first year prior to implementation of RFID, they lost 119,000 pounds of crates. And then they said, yeah, that cannot be. Yeah. So then they started investigating, and then they found RFID and started implementing this. And yeah, it was amazing what kind of results they saw. All of a sudden, they could prove ownership of the trace that get diverted into other organizations. There was a labor cost saving of 46,000 pounds on simply assembling, managing these cardboard boxes versus simply using these reusable trays, and 40% reduction of storage space. These crates can be nested inside each other, and these cardboard boxes had to be stacked. So in this project, we actually saw a 6 months initial payout in the first year of deployment. And yeah, most important thing is also that they had 92% return rates of the crates. And also because you can prove it, you can swiftly resolve delivery disputes. And that was not happening anymore. And last but not least, it ensured accurate payments because they could simply show proof of delivery. So why should you partner with us? Why should you partner with Avery Dennison? Well, we are the most experienced team in the industry. Yeah, we have more than 1,300 employees in the RFID business alone. And like I mentioned before, we have dedicated knowledge, dedicated support in the different verticals we see. And we have unbeatable R&D capacities to support you as a converter. We have 4 centers around the globe in 3 different continents. And we have the broadest product portfolio with more than 1,300 SKUs of inlays and tags. And yeah, if you work with Avery Dennison, you have an unparalleled global customer and channel reach. Yeah, we also develop business together with our converters. And yeah, it's also important to know that we're holding 1,500 patents and applications worldwide. And we ensure that all of these RFID products utilized for these specific applications I spoke about are being ARC certified. And ARC certification is an industry standard certification in the world of RFID. Yeah, and we produce more than 12 billion inlays and tags globally each year in the 7 manufacturing sites on the 4 different continents. Yeah, and as mentioned, we also like to support our converters. So we also have set up innovations labs all around the world. We call them iLab, which is a space for innovation, creativity, hands-on experience with RFID. It's driven by the technology which I was presenting to you today. And that space out there is actually there for our converters, for your customers. So once travel can resume again, which we hope will happen very soon, we really invite you to visit us together with your customers to experience our solutions on first hand. So with that, I would like to thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Frank, for this very interesting presentation.
Yeah, pleasure.
All right, so now we will move to our very first live demo of the day. So Dario, are you ready for this demonstration?
I am ready. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Perfect. Thank you, Frank, for the presentation, and welcome back. But now from our demo center here in Paris, where the ICONNECT C is running, and we are glad to present you this morning. So ICONNECT C, as you can see, is a quite compact solution. This is nearly about 3 meters long for the RFID converting processes. It can insert a tag under a finished label, but it can also insert a label on top of another label to create a coupon label. And it can insert a label of different shape or different material beside another label for the wine application. The ICONNECT C in the specific is available in 3 different widths mainly: 180, 200, and 250 millimeters for this offline compact version as we see today. But as I said during the presentation, it can be combined with the ICONNECT process platform. So the ICONNECT Max can be integrated within main and winder from the ICON line for reel up to 800 millimeters. It can receive inspection section, as we can see now, or a slitting section. This is a eye control machine ready for departure. And of course, main rewinder with 2 shafts or 1 shaft or semi-automatic rewinder. So the ICONNECT Max is perfectly integrated into the ICONNECT multi-process platform, to be combined, of course, with other processes such as flexo and die cutting inline. So let's see deeper into the ICONNECT C. It's equipped with a 400 millimeter, 450 millimeter finished label and winder. The label are already die cut and without matrix. It has a photocell to read the matrix gap and therefore to send the signal to the inserter. The ICONNECT C has an in-feed roller to control the weight tension before the delamination, ultrasonic waveguide, and then the delamination is done by a blade that removes the glassine from the label. The glassine is taken back to pass all over the inserting section and to come back underneath the tag inserter. This web pass allows to use the same glassine instead of removing the original one and replace it with a new one. As some jobs, they may have backside elements such as spot marks or notch necessary for the downstream processes. But we will come back later on the inserter section. And let's first see the assembly final process. So once the glassine has received the tag, it comes back to the exact same point where it has been delaminated. An eccentric roller located right before the relamination point can manage the registration of the glassine with the front side label in case of needs such as die cut lines or embossed mark on the glassine to match the label. The assembly section has also, of course, an anti-adhesive roller and a low hardness nip roller. So the low hardness ensure not to damage the RFID. Then a small mirror section allows the operator to see the position of the tag onto the label. And of course, an outfit section to control the tension of the web after the relamination. So after these simple operations, the web can be rewound on the upper rewinding shaft or even on the lower rewinding shaft. It is used when the RFID design requires a different web pass with lower stress on the label. Now let's see the inserting section I mentioned before. It is equipped with the latest generation of ERMA Inserter 500 series. This can go up to 150 meters per minute, so high speed with the highest accuracy. The system is available in 160 millimeter web width or 240 millimeter. The unwinder, 400 millimeter, is equipped with 2 photocells, one for the web break and one for the end roll. A denser and a buffering cell manage the tag insertion with the right synchronization. And of course, the backing rewinder. Also, the inserting unit with a low hardness nip roller. The inserting unit is also equipped with sensor. This sensor verifies the presence of a tag before the insertion through direct contact. So the sensor touches the tag, or by sensitivity of the thickness. Another thickness sensor is located on the glassine to verify the presence of the tag at each label photocell signal. Of course, the inserter can be adjusted on the width to regulate the tag position, but also you can adjust the inserting angles to adapt to any RFID shape. The dedicated ultrasonic web guide will ensure the glassine to be straight under the inserter. And the inserter will automatically dispense an RFID at every signal received by the label photocell, and in synchronization with the web speed read by this encoder. The inserter can also take a signal from a contrast photocell located right here to read a spot mark or a notch on the glassine, so it dispenses the tag in register with the glassine. So now let's see a bit of tag insertion at higher speed. The machine is set up to go up to 80 meters per minute. That's the speed which allows the dimension of the label with the tag. So I'm gonna let you hear the noise of the machine, which is very pleasant, by the way. Very good. So ICONNECT C as a compact solution is very simple to use and can transform any label into connected label. And it can be implemented with devices for personalization. It can be inkjet variable data printing to print barcodes, to print serial numbers, but also data matrix to be used then for the encoding that we will see later on the ICONNECT E equipment. But it can also be equipped with the tag assurance controller to detect bad tags, bad tag marker to identify the defective tags, and also inspection unit to stop and remove the defective tag. So basically with all the feature that a converting and finishing machine can have. And not only, it can have a slitting section. In case of converting needs 2 label across. And of course, in that case, a second rewinder. So ICONNECT offer a wide range of solution. Easy to use, easy to install in one day, and productive since the second day instead. And moreover, very convenient and easy to operate. So thank you everybody for your attention. I now pass the line back to Iba, to our studio.
Thank you very much, Dario, for this presentation.
Thank you, Iba.
So the sound of the machine was pretty nice. I think we should start doing some ASMR videos from time to time. All right, so now we will move to the presentation from Voyantic. So we were afraid that this webinar may not fit in Teemu's schedule, so we pre-registered the video that I'm going to show you. But gladly, he's here with us to answer all your questions during the Q&A session. Hi, Teemu.
Thank you, Hibat. It's glad to be here.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Teemu Ainasoja from Voyantic company. Voyantic is an RFID expert company specializing in RFID and NFC testing and encoding systems, from tag design to manufacturing and to project implementations. In my presentation, I will discuss about RAIN RFID and NFC technologies, about quality and quality testing in smart label manufacturing, and about encoding RFID and NFC data. RAIN RFID, which is also known as UHF RFID or EPC RFID, and often called just as RFID, and NFC, near-field communication, are both wireless technologies that can be used in identifying objects and communicating with objects. There are a lot of similarities. Line of sight is not needed. They can be made as labels, cards, or they can be embedded to items or made in other formats. Both are batteryless radios with small IC, also called as chip, and antenna, which is usually the visible part of the tag. But there are also some differences. The frequency they use is different, which in practice means that reading devices are different pieces of hardware. NFC tags are read with smartphones, travel gates, payment terminals, hotel door locks, and so on. RAIN RFID tags are read with professional-grade mobile readers, gate readers at distribution center docking stations, belt side readers at factories, various fixed readers in ceilings, on the floor, or embedded to equipment, and so on. RAIN RFID is mostly used in applications related to inventory management. Not always, but this is the most common use. It is used for identifying and counting large numbers of items quickly. Typically, these tags are read from 1 to 5 meter distance, although individual labels can be read from much longer distances. NFC is typically used in applications where one tag is read at a time, and the tag's information is then used to initiate an action, such as open door, enter to metro, open web browser in a smartphone, pay the payment, and so on. In this video, there is an example of RAIN RFID use. The reader is a professional-grade mobile device. This example is from a retail store. The inventory count is made quickly without need to handle the items. Items can be found easily. And incoming goods can be recorded without opening the transportation box. It is mostly about efficiency, although it is also about improving the customer service. Another video is about NFC and how it is used in marketing. A coffee shop customer can tap the tag with smartphone and open a video. At the same time, the marketer can collect information about the customer, same way as the customer information is collected from websites. When printed advertisement decreases, NFC is a new possibility for brands to engage with customers. By the way, these slides will be available as PDF afterwards. There are some links to further reading materials, such as this link to Voyantic blog article about how label manufacturers can benefit from the NFC marketing opportunities. Now, let's move on to the quality testing in smart label manufacturing. These principles apply to both RAIN RFID and to NFC. The manufacturing process starts with IC manufacturing and antenna manufacturing. Then the IC is attached to the antenna in the IC attach process. Next, in converting, additional material is placed on inlay and the inlays are cut to form individual labels and otherwise made physically to final format. Next step is personalization. In this step, data is added to the labels. Data can be encoded, programmed, written to the IC, or it can be printed on the label. Also, final quality testing is made at this stage. Personalization and especially the encoding and final quality testing are the focus of the rest of this presentation. Final step in the process is tagging, where the label is taken to use. It is attached to an item. Think about the manufacturing process. There are a number of steps. And as is normal for any mass manufacturing, those steps are not repeated exactly the same way. Changes may be small, but when we get to the tiniest details, there is variation in each step. A bit or more less material, a bit different angle or position, a bit different temperature, and so on. A speciality of RFID and NFC is that any tiny mechanical or chemical variation has an effect on the electrical properties of the IC, antenna, or how the IC connects to the antenna. And these electrical properties are seen as varying readability of the tag. What is the read range? What are the reading angles? On which material the tag works well, and so on. The variation is measured by looking at how much energy is needed to wake up the tag. There is always some variation, but when variation is too high, read ranges vary too much for the application, and that is a problem for the users. For example, instead of counting all of the items, the user would miss some of the items. The count would be inaccurate. From tag manufacturer's point of view, the quality testing takes initial investment, but that is needed to avoid the real big costs. If quality is not what customer expects, the results would be returned products, wasted materials and time, even lost customer relations. RFID is not different from other manufacturing from quality management point of view. You need to measure the quality and use the information to control the manufacturing process, and that way improve or maintain the repeatability of the process. Okay, let's continue to encoding. First, let's look at rain RFID encoding. In the picture, there is a fairly typical retail label. There is the EPC logo at the lower left corner indicating that this label has RFID tag inside. The RFID antenna is visible at the lower side of the label. The picture was taken against the light, so you can see through the label. In retail, there is quite often also barcode and some printed information on the tag. The data on tags are controlled by two main standards advising on how the tag should be encoded. EPC tag data standard can be found free of charge online. It covers retail, logistic, and also about 30 other RFID use cases. There is also an ISO standard, or actually a group of standards. Those cover another 30 or so use cases. Together, these standards offer advice to pretty much any RFID application you can think of. A request label manufacturers often get is to encode same data to RFID as the printed data is. Let's look at this a bit more. In the label, there is human printable code and barcode. When the barcode reader reads the barcode, the output is same as the human readable format. But RFID is a bit more complicated. Shortly, the code in the IC, EPC code, is same as barcode with unique serial number. This applies to retail and most applications. In the IC, the information is as bits, ones and zeros. It is not easy to read or say what the string of bits exactly tells. Usually the code is displayed as hexadecimal. It is still the same bit string, but just 4 bits create one hexadecimal character. But even that doesn't look like the human readable code. And the code looks different even if it's converted to a decimal number. That is where the standards have a role. The standards describe how the same code is made. This picture is about breakdown of the EPC code corresponding with the EAN barcode. And in this breakdown, you can see that the same human readable format actually appears from the EPC code. When the EPC code is cut to correct length pieces, and those pieces are then converted to a decimal number, the human readable or barcode content appears. I'll mention that there are also online tools that tell more about the item based on the human readable code or the barcode. Next, an example of NFC encoding. In many applications, there are fancier features such as data encryptions and other security measures. After all, the technology is used in payment cards, key cards, and travel tickets. But here is an easier example. A tag that can be tapped with the smartphone and the phone opens a website. The address can be printed in human-readable format, or it can be printed as a machine-readable optical code, such as QR code in the picture. And when the tag memory is looked into in ASCII format, the web address is in the memory actually in human-readable format, at least almost. Other parts in the memory are instructions to smartphone to open a browser with this address. NFC standard includes plenty of data formats with same approach. Tap and send email with predefined content, tap and make call, or tap and send a text message, tap and connect to a Wi-Fi network, and so on. Idea in all of these is that the NFC tags gives instructions to smartphone to do some automated sequence of actions when the tag is tapped. Payments, tickets, and so on have their own specialities, and I don't discuss them here. SMAG Graphique's ICONNECT E machine has different options for testing and encoding. It can pretty much do anything in smart label personalization, at least almost. It can be equipped with quality testing. It can be equipped with barcode and 2D code scanner. This is used in processes where same data is encoded. The system reads 2D code. The software turns this 2D code into a correct format of EPC or NFC code, and then the code is encoded to the tag. The machine can be equipped with encoding. It can be equipped with data verification, and it can be equipped with marker, which prints a dot to tags that are somehow wrong. Quality is not as specified, or data is incorrect. And all these processes can be for RAIN RFID or for NFC. Thank you, everybody. You can read more information from our website or email questions to us. And we will answer the questions also later today in the Q&A session. I will now give the control back to SMAG Graphique. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Teemu, for this presentation. So you will be with us during the Q&A session. If we have any questions, we will ask you that. So now going back to my colleague Dario for the second live demonstration of the day. Hi, Dario, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome back in the demo center.
Thank you. We're ready for
Perfect.
the demonstration.
So we had some tag insertion on the ICONNECT C, and now we are moving to the encoding process. So still, ICONNECT E is a compact solution for the RFID, but not converting. RFID controlling and encoding processes. This ICONNECT E is based on the proven inspection solution from SMAG Graphique. It can accept web width from 20 millimeters up to 250 millimeters. The unwinder, it takes finished rolls of labels up to 600 millimeters and rewind finish roll of RFID labels up to 450 millimeters diameter. But the ICONNECT E is also equipped, as you can see, with an ultrasonic web guide, a main control board with a touch screen and other button commands, a splicing table for the bad tag removal, and very important, a servo outfeed section to ensure the perfect tension settings during the runs. ICONNECT E can also be equipped with a inspection camera, 100% camera predisposition to inspect also the printing quality and the RFID tag position. And more inspection equipment, such as buffer and trash rewinder, as we have seen early this morning on the iControl, can be installed. So there, the ICONNECT E has the exact same capabilities of an inspection machine, but with the RFID solution in line. The ICONNECT E can have a full rotary web transportation, where the fast RFID hardware ensure high-speed production, but it can also move the web in a stop-and-go modality to be able to keep a longer contact of the tag with the hardware when the data transfer process requires it. So for instance, the NFC. Of course, ICONNECT E can receive a series of equipment for the RFID process that we will see now. So first, the triggers. There are two triggers here. One is for the continuous rotary web mode, which we are using now. You may see it blinking. And the second used for the stop-and-go web mode. The trigger is a photocell signal that tells the controller that the label is entering into the system. By detecting the presence of the matrix on standard or clear-on-clear material. The distance from trigger to tester, that distance, and the distance from trigger to encoder, to controller, and to marker, they are set in the main system. So the full RFID process follows a unique label. Then rotary encoder, as the controller needs to know the speed of the web and how much it moves. So when the distance from the trigger to the different station is combined with the web speed information, every single device of the process can be triggered at the right time. So during the controlling, the encoding, and the data control, or the bad tag marking will be action on the right label. So let's go in the specific. Then it comes on the first Snoop Pro antenna. It's connected to the tag assurance measurement unit. It is specially designed for fast and reliable online production testing. Every tag which passes the antenna is tested. It is tested to match a quality criteria. The tags can be tested on the go when they slide over the antenna. And it takes a few milliseconds per label. And this enables production at high speed. But the system does not only look if a label works or not. This could be done with any almost readers. It looks after the quality of the tag. It verifies that the tag works as specified. That is to say, the read range and the reading angles as specified by the application, as we have seen in the former presentation from Voyantic. So it truly guarantees a satisfied customer without problem in tag reading from different distances, or NFC's issue where you need to put your smartphone in a very perfect position to activate the tag. Also, the system can provide tracking information and real-time visibility to any change in the tag performance. This real-time visibility can be used for noticing and fixing issues before the tag start to fail. And this saves manufacturing cost and improve the efficiency. Next, antennas. All those antennas are different. So we have seen the SNU Pro for tag assurance, and then we move to the insurance. They are connected to encoder unit and used for encoding data to the IC and verify the data in the IC. For the encoding to work well, it must be sure that the data is written to the right tag. And that's the reason of the trigger and the encoder. And even if the tag on top of the antenna is not working correctly, the data should not be written on another closed tag. So we should not miss the specific label. This new Pro patented antenna is specially designed for industrial use, production use. It can be easily adjusted for different label design. So we can move on the whips, we can move along the web to match the label dimension. And we can also use different shield plates to match the RFID shape and dimensions. And finally, in the process, the bad tag marker. So if a label fails in any of the earlier stages, the tag is marked, so it can be recognized. But it's also possible to ask the machine to stop on the splicing table and replace the bad tag. All these functions and devices are managed by the main controller. So it's very easy to use, operator-friendly interface. It is the brain of the system and the process. It keeps everything in order, making sure that each tag which passed on the antenna is tested, read, encoded, and eventually marked at the right time when the tag is on the antenna or correct location. The controller is designed for RFID and NFC production use. The process of encoding can be launched with extremely accuracy, within fraction of millimeters or microseconds, as everything counts in processes where the tag slides on top of the antenna. And that short time needs to be fully used for testing or encoding, so that then the machine can run at the higher speed. So all the data are collected. If a variable data is encoded or verified, the controller ensures that the data is synchronized. This controller includes user interface, very simple, with a general number of pass tag, the number of failed, the number of tag processed, and the rate of success according to the specification. The specifications are set in recipes. So you can build, as you can see here, recipes and store it in the system to recall anytime for any job. Those recipes are set independently for the tag assurance, the insurance encoder, and the insurance controller of the encoded data. And the same for the marker. The system, as I said, is the brain of the machine somehow. You can build your own configuration by selecting the number of lane, selecting the devices, so you can use only a taxurance to control the tag, or taxurance plus the insurance encoding processes. You can, of course, decide to use the bad tag marker or not. So here is the main report of each tester. And finally, the controller collects the data. All the actions are logged in a file, so you can record and deliver your customer the report of the production. This log file can be used in analyzing the production and giving added value to the customers. So, as you can see, RFID and NFC label are not very different from label manufacturing, traditional. We talk about inspection, quality control, personalization, and data report. So thank you again, and I'm pleased to present the ICONNECT E, perfect solution to industrialize the RFID and NFC encoding process with the ICONNECT C to connect your labels. Thank you. I pass you the line back, Eva.
Thank you very much, Dario, for this live demonstration of our ICONNECT E. So now I will introduce you to Benoit Sud, who is the Chief Operating Officer of our client WID Group. Hello, Benoit.
Hello. Thank you, SMAG, for the invitation. And so, yes, I'm Benoit Sud, co-founder of WID Group. We have developed innovative solutions for the wine sector based on the RFID technology. And we work with SMAG for several years now on the two machines that have been presented. So the ICONNECT E in order to encode a specific URL in each RFID tag, and with the ICONNECT C in order to insert the RFID technology under the client's label. And so we will show you a short video explaining in detail our solutions.
Thank you very much, Benoit. So I will stream the short video right now. Very nice video.
WID Track est né de la rencontre de deux mondes, les nouveaux besoins exprimés par la filière viticole et l'évolution des technologies. À partir de puces électroniques RFID et NFC, cette solution évolutive conjugue sécurité, traçabilité, logistique, gestion des commandes et des inventaires, et communication digitale pour les bouteilles de vin. La technologie RFID est composée d'une antenne et d'une micropuce électronique. Ce marqueur s'insère soit de manière invisible sous l'étiquette ou la contre-étiquette, soit de manière visible sous forme d'une pastille adhésive et personnalisable.
Le procédé de fabrication de la technologie WID se décompose en 3 étapes. La première étape consiste à concevoir et fabriquer l'étiquette RFID en salle blanche. La deuxième est de l'intégrer au support client. Et en troisième et dernière étape, nous encodons et contrôlons le produit assemblé avant son conditionnement final.
Cette approche permet une intégration technologique en amont. Nous travaillons notamment avec les imprimeurs d'étiquettes afin de fournir aux propriétés des bobines d'étiquettes prêtes à l'emploi.
Le choix d'une pastille visible, c'est à la fois traçabilité, garantie pour notre distributeur, et puis pour son client final également, et de communication.
Le kit unitaire s'intègre sur le convoyeur d'une étiqueteuse et permet d'identifier et contrôler les bouteilles de manière unitaire à l'issue de son processus d'habillage. Il permet notamment d'attribuer une identité à chaque bouteille en correspondance avec les caractéristiques d'une commande en cours.
Il suffit simplement de sélectionner en fait à l'intérieur d'un ordre de fabrication un vin que l'on souhaite étiqueter et associer avec une puce RFID et le process n'est pas consommateur de temps. Donc la solution est très facile à mettre en œuvre.
Dans le cas où une commande est terminée ou si un produit n'est pas référencé pour un client, l'éjecteur permet d'écarter la bouteille concernée. Le tunnel logistique a été conçu pour s'adapter aisément sur un convoyeur existant et permet d'identifier toutes les bouteilles au sein d'un conditionnement fermé en une seule opération de lecture. Sa capacité et sa précision de lecture permettent de vérifier la conformité absolue des lots, notamment en cas de panachage, ainsi que d'associer à chaque bouteille toutes les caractéristiques d'une commande.
Pendant la production, il nous suffit juste de rentrer le numéro d'OF dans la machine qui, elle, reprend tout ce qui a été rentré en amont, le conditionnement, les centralisations, pour être sûr qu'on soit sur le bon produit et qui valide et enregistre. Une fois que tout cela est enregistré, on a une remontée d'informations directement sur notre outil à nous de gestion de stock, ce qui nous facilite le travail.
Les bouteilles peuvent arriver dans le désordre, dans la caisse, ce qui est très intéressant notamment quand on papillote, mais également, surtout, c'est qu'on a une lecture à travers la caisse. Donc là, ça ouvre des possibilités extraordinaires par rapport à une palette, par rapport à une commande complète, aussi bien pour la traçabilité de la commande que pour la gestion des stocks.
Si la caisse n'est pas conforme, n'est pas valide, un voyant rouge s'allume et donc ça nous permet de rectifier le tir. C'est encore une fois facile d'utilisation, c'est beaucoup plus fluide, c'est une sécurité supplémentaire, ça nous aide et ça aide toute l'équipe, ça nous permet de traiter chaque commande avec beaucoup plus de sérénité. Et donc ça c'est très important pour nous, ça nous permet vraiment d'étendre notre charge de travail et donc de nous libérer du temps lorsqu'on a beaucoup plus de travail dans les vignes.
Grâce au mât logistique, l'identification de tous les conditionnements au sein d'une palette devient possible. Il permet de contrôler sa composition, notamment en cas de panachage, et d'attribuer les caractéristiques de la commande, et ce, pour une conformité absolue de vos expéditions.
Le mât logistique, c'est une solution qu'on recherche depuis un certain temps, parce que c'est une solution qui va nous apporter non seulement de la fiabilité sur les commandes, sur la préparation de commandes, et sur le suivi après des envois.
Nos puces électroniques sont compatibles en NFC, un protocole de lecture intégré dans tous les smartphones de dernière génération. Cela permet aux consommateurs d'identifier une bouteille de manière autonome et accéder à toutes les informations pertinentes renseignées par la propriété.
L'application WID est très simple. Il suffit de prendre la bouteille sur laquelle se trouve la puce et d'avoir ensuite les informations principales, bien sûr, sur cette bouteille qui sont situées ici. Mais le plus important, c'est que vous pouvez aussi avoir accès au site internet.
Ainsi, WID œuvre auprès des acteurs de la filière viticole à contrer l'expansion de bouteilles frauduleuses, à fiabiliser les inventaires, à faciliter le contrôle des commandes, à optimiser la logistique, ainsi qu'à communiquer de manière ludique et pertinente auprès du consommateur. WID, créateur de solutions innovantes au service de la filière de la vigne et du vin.
Thank you very much, Benoit, for this very, very nice video that explains what you do at WID Group. So now I will welcome back all our speakers. Hello again, Teemu and Frank.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
So we have Jingwei from Voyantic. Hi, Jingwei. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, hello. Thank you.
I'll just remove this. Okay, so now it's the beginning of our Q&A session. So I will be showing a number that you can contact in case you can't use the live chat on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, since we're doing the live stream on the three of them. And I received the questions on my phone. So don't hesitate to ask us all your questions. So I'll just check the comment section. So no questions so far. It seems like the presentations were very clear.
Yeah, well, people are shy.
You shouldn't be shy. I have a question from Andy who asks, can you show how the marking of a bad RFID looks like?
I can maybe answer. I don't have an example, but most common way is just to mark either a round or square dot. But basically, in the, for example, the marker we use in our system, the HSH, you can define the size and shape of the image. So in a way, you can make your own design, but typically they are just black squares or round dots.
All right. We have a question from Deni Cholakova, who says, hello, everyone. Our company has a problem with a customer which wants to insert RFID label over the cardboard boxes with full one bottle, but the liquid inside the box stops signal and reader can't read. So she asks how she can solve that problem.
In fact, it depends on the technology of RFID that you are using. And the purpose you want to achieve, but on the RFID, if you are using ultra high frequency in order to read up to a few meters, the liquids are a huge constraint, and it stops the signal to go through the inside of the box.
Well, we at Avery Dennison have actually specialized inlay designs that have optimal performance for this specific application. So I'm also happy to take it offline and discuss it, because we know there's a specific application and we have some dedicated inlays that do work for this application.
All right. A question from Heidi. Hi, Heidi. Can you tell us about possible limitations for bottles, water, wine, alcohol, if the tag can be reached through the liquid?
I think that's the same question.
Yeah, more or less.
It's a very similar question.
What you see that it is hard, of course, to read through liquids, but there are, as I said, dedicated inlay designs that work close to liquid. So if applied to a bottle, can be any liquid inside, it will deliver performance. It's just that you need a dedicated design to be able to work for that. If you're talking about reading through big packs of liquids, that is very hard because the RF signal is absorbed by the liquid then. So that's a difference in use case you're looking at.
And it depends also on which distance you want to read the product, because in our solutions we use high frequency RFID, so we don't have this constraint of a liquid. We can read up to 1 meter depending on the size of the antenna, and on high frequency the liquid is not a problem.
Thank you. I have a question from Dennis Bendik. I hope I'm not pronouncing the name in a horrible way. So the question is, how do you remove the faulty RFID tags after they're identified?
Well, I think that's a process question. In both ICONNECT, you have a splicing table and a section that allows the machine to stop whether the tag is identified as defective. So it can be on the ICONNECT C if it's equipped with the tag assurance and this inspection section. We can manage the signal received from the tag assurance to stop the machine, splice the web, and then remove the label. On the ICONNECT E, well, it depends, because then if you have an encoding process which is incremental, so with the numbers incrementals, it's impossible to remove and to replace with the new tag with the exact same sequence of number, but you can still do it. So it depends on the application. When you have incrementals, usually you mark the tag and you let the defective tag goes with the production. If you want to have 100% good tags, then you can do the same. So set the machine to stop when the defective tag is detected and remove or replace.
That's what you are doing actually with your ICONNECT E.
That's what you do exactly, yes. So in your application, you don't have that incremental numbers problematic that you can have in pharma. So in that application, you mark the tag, you do not replace. You have to leave all the serial numbers. In your application, indeed, you can just use the machine and as it is set to stop, so you can remove or replace and deliver your customer with 100% good tags ready to be labeled on the bottles.
Exactly.
All right. So I have another question from DJ from Cogetic. If I need an ICONNECT E with Voyantic system, to who shall I buy? Who is going to serve the Voyantic system?
We work. We answer, and then maybe Timu can complete if needed. We work very closely with Voyantic. We're not talking about just a supplier inside the machine. That is fully part of the process. So Voyantic is, I think they have 15 engineers always ready to connect to the machine and to provide the service. We also, from our side, are trained to use the system. But you know, today everything is connected. So when you buy an ICONNECT E, then you are connected also to Voyantic as well as SMAG. So we both serve the machine, either from the mechanical, electrical side, either from the software. So whether you need an upgrade, whether you need support, a team of expert engineers from Voyantic are always there to answer. And if you're in France, we can also just do the job to help with the language and so on and so far. So it's a team, and that's what is really unique, I think, in that cooperation. It's a real team working. It's not only just to assemble pieces of machines from different suppliers. It's just really a common machine between SMAG and Voyantic. So you get the best of both of us.
I would shortly continue that. SMAG Graphique. So Dario, for example, would be the first contact. So your purchase agreement would be with SMAG Graphique, also about the Voyantic system. And obviously, as Dario mentioned, our support will also be available for any SMAG Graphique customers. So we will definitely not leave any Voyantic users alone. But the first point of contact should be SMAG Graphique.
So here I have a question from Dimitri, who asks how to choose an RFID tag, and does Avery have a catalog? And what is the delivery time in average?
Well, there are two questions in one. The first is finding the right product is very easy with the product finder, which I mentioned in my presentation. They can easily select the application, the existing size of the label, the frequency you're looking at, and then zoom into the right inlay for your specific application. Delivery time varies per product. I explained we have 1,300 SKUs or even more nowadays. So if you have defined your specific inlay, or we're also happy to support finding the right inlay for your application, of course, then we can give you delivery time for the specific product we have selected together.
Thank you for this answer. I have a question from Italy for WID Group. It's about wine. So how has increased the business of WID Group in the wine business? Where are your main markets? Areas such as Bordeaux or Burgundy, and are you able to export to Italy and other countries?
Sorry, I didn't understand the start of the question.
So how did your business increase, and where are your main markets? And are you able to export to Italy mainly?
Okay, thank you. The business is increasing pretty quickly. We have more than 20 clients in the wine, mainly in Bordeaux and Burgundy. And we also are working in Champagne and over wine regions in France. But we are starting to develop partnership in the foreign country close to us, such as Spain, Italy, and over countries. Yeah.
Thank you. So from LinkedIn, I have a question from John. Do you have good traction with label material equipped with aggressive hot melt during RFID insertion with ICONNECT C? Thank you.
I'm not sure to understand. Can you say it again, please?
So
it's written down, sorry. Well, definitely it's quite a difficult question because the application seems very particular. We speak about hot melt. I mean, when we insert, we remove the glassine from the self-adhesive label. So we talk about self-adhesive label. This is mostly acrylic glue-based label, and relam with the siliconized glassine. So actually we have no traction problem in terms of delamination and relamination. Labels that may have different specification must be tested. But basically what you can take as an answer is that the ICONNECT C is no more, no less than a delam-relam equipment. We wanted this machine to be very easy to use by any operator. So when you think about any kind of printing process and you need to print on the glue, you delam and then you relam. And that's exactly what we do. We do something that all the label converters does in the world. They just delam and relam labels. But instead of printing, we insert a tag. So if within your process you can delam relam for any reason, you can insert the tag as well.
Okay, I'll wait a few more minutes to see if I have some more questions. Guys, if you see some on the chat, don't hesitate to tell me in case I don't pay attention to one of the questions. Okay, so I have a message from James from England. Super interesting presentation. First time that at least the complete process of RFID has been presented from the different providers. Thanks to Voyantic, Avery, and of course SMAG. SMAG is always bringing innovative solutions, so this was not a question. Thank you very much, James from England.
It's good to hear, and that's just want to say that I want to thank all our partners that allows this webinar to exist, and the purpose was to demonstrate the full process. So from the Avery tags, purposes, and the insertion, and then the Voyantic expertise, and then the encoding process, and the final, and that is very important, very unique, that we have WID Group that as a testimonial of the end user point of view, and with a deeper vision of the market that is very, very important for the industry. So thank you, James, for the nice compliment. And
thank you, Dario, and thank you, Ibat.
Thank you very much, guys, for being with us.
Very great.
Thank you so much. So I think that marks the end of this this webinar. So we still have many sessions to go. Well, then, thank you so much to our audience for watching this first webinar of the ICONNECTED Online 2021. And have a good day from Paris.
Thank you. See you later, everybody, for the next session.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.